Me.
Final countdown. This is where it gets fun. This is where I come alive.
Everyone's ready to show up, and Jake's in good shape. His mind is very locked in and focused for this. So, we're all looking forward to this. So,
Jake Paul is deep into an intense heavyweight training camp in Miami ahead of his December 19th fight against Anthony Joshua. He's working with elite sparring partners who simulate Joshua's size and power and training closely with top coaches. His program also includes specialized therapists and advanced equipment to boost strength, speed, and precision. Every session focuses on refining technique, building endurance, and preparing mentally. Jake is fully committed and ready to take on the toughest challenge of his career with complete focus and determination.
Time to shock the world, baby. Time to shock the world again. You motherfucking sauce.
Jake Paul's preparation shows a level of dedication few can truly understand. According to his coach, much of the hard work goes unseen: long hours in the gym, grueling conditioning routines, and meticulous attention to every detail of his technique. Fans rarely see the sacrifices required to compete at the highest level, especially against someone like Anthony Joshua. Physical exhaustion and mental strain are constants, yet Jake pushes through every session with determination, showing a seriousness that goes beyond mere spectacle.
How much is sacrificed in the camp, and Jake sacrificed a lot to get ready for the last fight, on top of releasing the new brand W. And so he needed a break. And so we took a month off, got right back in there, and now we're getting ready to fight. And we're not as heavy as we were before, which is a plus for us. I didn't want us to go back up, but you can guarantee he's to be ready to fight. I think in the last 6 weeks, you've seen Jake slowly tighten himself up and get himself prepared, and he's really locked in now. So what we've been able to see is Jake evolve into the gladiator. He's slowly evolving into the gladiator that he has to become for fight night. About time he finishes the camp and goes through everything he needs to go through, by that night, he'll be fully prepared. His outer shell that he needs to be able to go in there and be the gladiator for the night, they'll have that ready, and that's what you see happening now. That's the process in which we're in.
Every aspect of Jake's training is aimed at one goal: beating a proven former champion. Analysts note that his mental preparation is just as important as his physical work. He visualizes different fight scenarios, anticipates challenges, and structures his sessions to build confidence while addressing weaknesses. This mental training helps him stay composed under pressure and execute strategies without hesitation. Jake's psychological readiness shows maturity that has grown over successive fights, proving he is more than just a social media star turned boxer.
Built for this. Enjoy the process, enjoy the moment. When it's over, I'm gonna be missing these moments.
145.
Sparring partners play a crucial role in Jake's camp. Sources say he regularly tests himself against experienced fighters, sometimes even defeating them decisively. For this fight, the focus is on opponents who match Anthony Joshua's size and power. Sparring partners confirm that Jake seeks challengers who push him to his limits, forcing him to adapt and refine strategies. These sessions help him practice under pressure, sharpen defensive maneuvers, and experiment with offensive combinations that could be crucial against a heavyweight of Joshua's caliber.
With Jake Paul, when that was, how much sparring you did with him.
So training with Jake Paul, I got to understand how he was as a fighter. He was new into the boxes. He was developing at a very quick rate. This guy trained his ass off. Like, we would spar twice a week in the hot ass gym in Puerto Rico. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. Dude, when I tell you Jake was beating up all these professional boxers who was sparring them, it was just one of those, like, bro, he was whooping their ass and sending them home. That same night, he told everybody bluntly, I'm sending you, and home. Only person saying he's this guy, Anthony. And he was like, the reason why, because this motherfucker's coming here and giving me work that I need. None of y'all is giving me the work.
Respected trainer Tony Jeff highlights the extraordinary intensity of Jake's camp. He stresses that this is not a typical training regimen. It mirrors preparation usually reserved for Olympic-level athletes. Jake uses cutting-edge equipment, highly specialized conditioning techniques, and personalized coaching that addresses every aspect of performance. The camp develops strength, speed, endurance, and technical skills, providing a comprehensive approach to elite-level boxing. Jeff notes that Jake's training allows him to adapt quickly and maintain an edge early in the fight. Unlike traditional camps that may focus on one area, this all-encompassing approach ensures Jake is well-rounded and fully prepared for the challenges he will face in the ring.
Great strength training for explosive power, slamming that ball against the wall and rotating, just like you'd be throwing a hook. You see there, he's caught it, he's pulled it back, turning into it, boom. We also see he's getting in the ice bath here. Now, ice baths is not just good for recovery, helping with the inflammation in your body after what you've been putting it through, but it's also good for the mental side of things. Because when you go in an ice bath, everything in your mind is saying, get out of here, what are you doing? So you've got to get past that part of your mind that's telling you that and push through it. So it's great for your mindset as well. Now, one more thing I just want to add with Jake Paul's training before I give you a recap on it. We always see him training. Look, he's got like a group of people around him. There's cameramen there, there's coaches there, all spurring him on. Now, boxing is normally a very lonely sport. When you're in the gym, it's normally you and your coach. Unless you're dealing with a group of people, it's harder for you to get the one-on-one attention that you need. So when you're fighting as a pro, when I was fighting as a pro, it was often just me and my coach. Sometimes there will be another guy in there as well. Sometimes my dad would come, which really helped push me through the session. But when my friends did ever come, maybe one session here and there, that spurred me on even more to get the most out of us. As we see here, he's got people around him all the time. Cameramen, coaches, friends, strength and conditioning coaches, his boxing coach, and he's just his full team around him who's getting paid. What that does is help the fighter, in this case Jake, get more out of the sessions rather than being there by himself, which I think is great. When I was training for the Olympics, we had that sort of support around us and it was amazing. But when I turned pro, that went out the window because you've got to pay for that support. So now my final thoughts on Jake Paul's boxing training. There isn't anything I can pull apart here. Everything.
Boxing analyst Dan Raphael observed significant improvement in Jake since his fight with Tommy Fury. He highlights progress in technique, stamina, and tactical awareness, showing Jake's growing understanding of in-ring dynamics. However, Raphael cautions that Joshua represents a formidable challenge. Jake's growth proves he can learn and evolve, but the upcoming fight will test whether he can apply these lessons under intense pressure. Analysts note that while self-belief is crucial, overconfidence can be dangerous. Jake must balance confidence with realism, respecting Joshua's experience and power while staying mentally resilient.
But he's actively like, yes, I am going to knock out AJ. And in any other timeline, we'd all point and laugh. And some people still are pointing and laughing, but I'm just sitting here going, what has he seen that makes him believe that? Not only of what's happened to AJ, sure, he's been knocked out by Daniel Dubois, another 240-pound champion of the world, but what has he seen in himself? I think he's going to knock out AJ when he hasn't knocked out anyone since Mike Perry. And Mike Perry, as we know, is not a high-level boxer. He hasn't knocked out a high-level boxer. He could have Cesar Chavez, but Chavez knew to cover up and not engage. Maybe he thinks AJ will engage with him, and AJ does do some bad things in the pocket. Again, we'll save it for another video, but the only thing I can think of, and I said it at the beginning of this video, is Jake is absolutely delusional, and he's convinced himself of what's going to happen based on very outlying data, right? The Daniel Dubois knockout, how he struggled with Usyk.
Hey, who are you fighting when and why?
I'm fighting Anthony Joshua because I'm fucking him.
What?
I'm fighting Anthony Joshua because I'm him.
Holy shit, just let me take a second.
Is this month? Dude, it's light work. Light work. Well, at least my good old friend Tyson Fury believes that I can win.
If Jake Paul fights Anthony Joshua, I'm putting £1 million on Jake Paul. I want some free money.
Smart man, Tyson.
I need to see a bet slip, Tyson. I know you got it like that these days. $1 million's like like a slight 10,000 to the rest of us, or maybe 1,000 after those couple of title fights with Alexander Usyk. But I need to see the bet slip. I saw the line when, and this is kind of crazy, I saw the line when the fight first got made, and we put it in the video. Jake was plus 800 to win. Jake has now moved to plus 650 to win. That's outright. I don't know by knockout, I'm not sure, but plus 800 was already like, okay, that's, that's a big underdog. And Joshua was like minus 1,500, but now Joshua's at minus 1,250 and Jake's at plus 650. This line is closing, and I'm wondering why. What are people seeing?
Make no mistake, this is the biggest fight of my career. I'm walking into the lion's den. I'm doing something that no one else has ever done before. I, Jake Joseph Paul, will knock out, defeat, and embarrass Anthony Joshua Friday, December 19th, live on Netflix. My voice cracked. I'm still going through puberty. The biggest fight of 2025. USA versus UK. He's got the belts, the size, the history, but I have the balls. Be careful what you wish for. Jake versus Joshua. Judgment Day. He has a 90% knockout ratio, but I have a 100% chance of drinking this Celsius.
Okay, there we go. Ads only. Yeah, I mean, having balls is good when it comes to making a fight like this, when it comes to, you know, putting yourself out there and again, just operating on self-belief, but it isn't going to win Jake this fight. Him being ballsy is not going to win him this fight. Like, him making the decision to take this fight is ballsy. And we can all say it, and we have said it, and I feel like it's starting to become a thing where it's like, that's the only thing we're saying. I feel like everybody is just pointing out that Jake has big balls for doing this, and that's a ballsy move. And that's correct, but we established that already. So now let's talk about the fight itself. What about Jake's ballsiness is going to win him this fight? The fact that he wants to throw, the fact that he'll mix it up, that may be the worst thing that Jake could do is mix it up with Anthony Joshua, because again, you get into 50-50s with a guy that can crack like he can, 90% finish rate. He'll put you on the canvas. He's done it to so many other heavyweights. And yes, AJ sometimes is the one that gets clipped in exchanges like that with the left hook.
Former champion Carl Froch stresses the high stakes for both fighters. Joshua's legacy could be damaged by a misstep, while Jake's rising profile depends on proving he can handle a legitimate professional challenge. Froch frames the matchup as a pivotal moment where reputation, skill, and career trajectory intersect. He points out that the fight is more than a physical battle, it is a test of consistency, composure, and performance under pressure. The outcome will shape long-term perceptions of both fighters and their standing in boxing.
Paul is not a step in the direction of becoming world champion again. There's many people who could box. He's not going to make that kind of money, so let's just be honest with anybody else. So let's just be straight up honest about it. He's doing it all for the money. It's all about the money. I did say a year ago when he got splattered by Daniel Dubois that he's finished in boxing, he needs to retire. That's just my opinion, that's just my truth. I think he's done in heavyweight boxing at an elite competitive level. So that makes sense. I've been vindicated. He's now fighting fake Paul in what will be a massive mismatch. If this is correct and it's 10-ounce gloves in a professional boxing rules, 8 3-minute rounds, it's not going to go 2 rounds, is it? It shouldn't do. It shouldn't last a round. But we're going to have to wait and see, aren't we? It's hard to get your head around it. It's hard to know what to say about this. AJ's obviously excited about it, about making some serious bunts. And Jake Paul's telling us that he's going to shut all the haters up by jumping in there with AJ. So what is actually going off? We're not going to know, are we, until the fight actually... Till the first bell goes, we're not going to know what's actually behind all this. And we can't start throwing accusations of any sort of skullduggery going off, because we've got to take it at face value. It's not an exhibition, so nothing's pre-scripted. This is a professional boxing match that you can make bets on. So it's got to be a real fight. And if AJ goes in there with them little 10-ounce gloves on and throws the Ngannou 1-2 down the middle, I'm talking about the one that rendered Ngannou unconscious and almost snapped his leg. And Ngannou's a decent fighter in the cage. You know, he's a good MMA fighter, and you saw him, he took Tyson Fury, what did it take him, 8, 9, was it 10 rounds? Can't remember how long it was, but he took him the distance and lost a close decision. So he's quite capable, but AJ's a big punching heavyweight, and fake